I'm Ed Bishop. I'm the co-founder and CTO. So as the CTO at Tessian, I have product, engineering, data science reporting to me. These are three core functions for our human layer security platform, and I spend my day working with our leadership teams in those relevant organizations, making sure we're building the right things, making sure we're having impact for our customers, and ultimately making sure that we're detecting the most advanced threats. Human layer security is a new approach to security. Rather than focusing on the machine layer, like most other security companies, human layer security really thinks about people. It puts people first. It tries to understand how users behave, how you communicate with people in your network. And by understanding the intricacies of kind of human-to-human relationships, we think we can start tackling more advanced threats. So legacy systems are often insufficient at tackling the most advanced threats. If you imagine, there's always an attacker that's trying to reverse engineer these legacy rules and policies. So if you set a rule, there's an attacker trying to reverse engineer and bypass that rule. We think you need a new approach, and that is thinking about the person who's receiving that email and how can we protect them better and build systems with them in mind, rather than just trying to build these static rule-based approaches that are pretty easy to bypass over time.
Before I was at Tessian, I was at a sports betting company. I'd been a part of the growth of the company from around 20 software developers to 100 software developers, and I was kind of looking for an opportunity to experience that growth again. So as head of engineering, I do lots of different things. My job kind of changes day to day. The company changes once every 6 months, is the way it kind of feels. So as head of engineering, my role kind of changes once every 6 months. Problems I think about and try to solve are like thinking about our organizational structure, thinking about how the teams work best with like product and commercial teams, sometimes like day-to-day firefighting, getting involved in specific issues and working closely with teams, but generally also like looking to the future and like looking about the growth of the whole engineering team.
My name's Ario. I work in the engineering team, specifically in the Defender team. The Defender team protects people against spear phishing attacks, and we do this by using sophisticated machine learning models. I joined Tessian because I was looking for a company with people who are really smart and people who are trying to solve problems which no other group of people had solved before.
So I'm Monica. I work for Tessian for about a year now, and I joined the Gateway team. Before that, I was working in London, so I've been in London for about 2 years now. And before that, I used to work in San Francisco for one of the startups in Silicon Valley. But originally, I'm actually from Poland. So for me, the most important thing was like having the challenge. I wanted to join a company that was a point of scaling. When I was interviewing with Tessian, it was about the time that we got the Sequoia funding. So I knew that, it means that the company is going to grow really fast from then, and it was a big plus for me.
My name is Ahmed. I work on the Gateway engineering team, and I'm a software engineer. I joined Tessian primarily because of the kind of problem you're solving in the cybersecurity space.
So what appealed to me at Tessian was that it was both in the security space, which is like an area I've always been passionate about and interested in, and it was also like an exciting and interesting time for the company. The process we're using at Tessian is Scrum. We definitely believe in people over process. We think good teams will operate well regardless of their process. What we like about Scrum is it gives like a shared narrative between the teams and the business. So every team knows how every other team is working, and also the commercial teams can understand what a sprint is and how to get a ticket onto the backlog.
We have a great culture of always collaborating together, always learning from all the experiences. Even if we make any mistakes, we can always take a learning from it, and I think that's what makes Tessian really great.
There often are times when engineering teams will have to work together, and when they do, they are very collaborative, everyone's very friendly, and everyone's willing to take some time to explain whatever needs to be explained and work together on whatever they need to collaborate on.
It's a very collaborative space. It's a space that encourages learning. It's also a space where there is no blame culture, which is quite important in every engineering team.
I could say for me, it's about how dynamic it is and the impact you can have. Sometimes when you are on a bigger organization, you are a bit of an ant on a very big building, and here you can feel very empowered to propose changes and maybe lead them and deliver them, and something that you may think is very important, you can actually see it materializing.
My favourite thing about being part of engineering at Tessian is working on problems which you can't just Google the answer to. We're constantly coming across new challenges and new difficulties, but that's what makes it so fun and so rewarding when you come out a period of real difficulty, emerging with a solution which you thought was almost impossible to solve.
So we have a slightly different approach to how product and engineering teams work, especially in enterprise B2B SaaS companies. So we believe that the best product is built by empowered engineering teams. So this is where all of the engineering teams are kind of built around customer problems, and they obsess over how they can have impact for their customers. So they understand their problem area, they understand what their customers need, where our product is really strong, and where our customers want our product to expand. So they are living that day to day, and they get to make the decisions of what they work on. So we don't have a roadmap, we don't have an 18-month roadmap that we've committed to with our clients. What we do is we just try and have impact for our customers. So for example, how product and engineering work as a product manager's job really is to try and shorten the distance between the customer and the code. So that means bringing stories, bringing customer testimonials to the engineering team, and then brainstorming with the engineers. In the next sprint, how can we have the most impact? Or in the next quarter, what are the big projects that we should be going after?
My name is Gisela. I'm a software engineer, a backend software engineer. Before Tessian, I was also a backend software engineer, but in other companies, big and small, and I have been doing that for a couple of years. I'm leading a project that I feel is super interesting, that is outbound quarantine. So basically, you can have people within your organization that at certain points may want to breach information. For example, maybe an employee that is living on bad terms. And so what this project is about is preventing those data breaches. And I think it's a very impactful project for our clients, and also it's a very nice technical challenge as well.
My name's Leon, and I work on the Gateway, which is a part of the system we run. But my story is a bit different from the normal progress, because I'm a bit older and I have a family and everything, and I used to be a musician, then I was a teacher, and during all this time I was always studying computers on my own. So I did a course, then did a few interviews at places, and interviewed here at Tessian. And so I've been here 2 years now, from junior. I was a junior when I started, and it's been hugely supportive, and I've learned so much, and now I'm a professional developer. So I, like I said, work with the Gateway, and we are part of the email flow that will spot something wrong with your emails. Recently we have decided to improve the user experience, so when we do discover something's wrong with an email and we want to hold it, we will email the person who sent it back. Originally this email was just a plain text, just said what it said, but recently we've improved this completely, done a nice HTML bounce back message that looks a lot more like the Tessian brand than a plain text email. So one of the main challenges with a big project like this is complexity, and working with other teams, so I can write some code that works for me in my isolated environment, but it's got to work also across all the teams, and and handle the errors and everything. So it's always challenging when you do something that's a big change.
So it's something I'm very passionate about, the topic about diversity in the industry and the gender gap. I have been involved for a while in projects regarding this. I have been co-organizing of PyLadies for over a year, and now I'm a board member of the Young Professionals Board at WISE, which is an organization that wants to close this gender gap in STEAM from classroom to boardroom. I think it's very important, and I'm really happy that Tessian supports this work, supports WISE as an organization, and supports the work I do there, both with time they give me out of the projects I do to put into those projects, which is very important, and also I have put across projects to improve things within our organization at Tessian, and I feel they have been heard and that we are working on it, so it's something I also value quite a lot.
So the sort of characteristics and traits we look for in people as we build our team are like people who can get things done, people who are self-starters, people who can be given a problem and just tear it apart, generally people who are solution-oriented and kind of just want to solve problems. So my focus areas for the engineering team are like building a world-class engineering team and what that looks like. So I'm thinking about an organizational structure and implementing that to give well-defined levels and hierarchy within the teams. I'm also thinking about security and how we can shift security left at Tessian, how we can get the teams thinking about security as early as possible in their development.